Good afternoon. My name is Chris Angus. I'm a student at Peru State College, and this is my case study for Under Armour as a requirement through my business policy class, Business 495. There's a series of 10 questions that we were required to answer, and I will read the question and then give my answer as best as possible. Question number one was, how strong are the competitive forces confronting Under Armour, Nike, and the Adidas group? And with that, I did a 5-force analysis to support my answer. My response was, the competitive forces are strong among Nike, the Adidas group, and Under Armour. The competition from rival sellers that bring competitive pressures include endorsement deals with celebrities, official suppliers of many of the NCAA, NBA, MLB, NFL teams, and even Olympic athletes and high school and youth leagues around the country. Competition from new entrants to the industry are irrelevant at this time because these three companies have cornered the market and are market leaders based on personal preference and contracts. Competition from producers of substitute producers are increasing, as there are an estimate of 25 brand name competitors. However, Under Armour is a market leader in performance apparel for sports equipment, training and fitness clothing, and recently breaking into the golf world with apparel, specifically their golf gloves. I know, as a golfer myself, I know that Under Armour produces a very nice golf glove. I purchased a couple recently, and although I've not worn them, I have had firsthand experience as to the quality, and they are very good quality gloves that probably will be taken over the market from Nike and Callaway and all the other retailers. Under Armour has a great deal of supplier power, with wholesale distributions accounting for over 70% of their net revenues to suppliers, including but not limited to Dick's Sporting Goods, the Sports Authority, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, and many more. Bass Pro Shop are kind of a select market as far as your geographic region, and with the same with Cabela's. However, Dick's Sporting Goods and the Sports Authority is a very popular authority or a retailer in nearly all major cities, so they're gaining a lot of ground that way. Under Armour also has a high percentage of direct-to-customer sales via the internet from their discount merchandise, company retail stores, and company websites on the World Wide Web. Under Armour's customer buying power is not as strong as rival Nike and the Adidas group, as they trail in the global market for product sales, distribution networks, and retail outlets, as well as the number of products offered. But if you look at the numbers, you'll see that Under Armour is increasing their retail outlets. They're increasing their power as far as distribution networks, and I think it's just a matter of time before they take over the number one spot from Nike. Second question was, does Under Armour have any core competencies, and if so, what are they? My response was yes. Under Armour's core competencies are their commitment to sustainability through innovations, as they are committed to meeting the expectations of their customers, investors, and their stakeholders. And when you look at their website, this strictly, details what their core competency is and what their goals and missions are, which, like many organizations, it's all about making money and sustainability. But for Under Armour, their products are very unique. I happen to own a couple Under Armour products, and I've owned some Nike products, and it's, again, personal preference, but the research and development teams at each corporation or firm, if you will, specifically cater to, a different blend of material. Under Armour also has an established code of ethics that conforms to the increasing global nature of the business and competition. They also believe that believe that being resource efficient is just as important as producing a quality product. In addition, the company also believes in and incorporates goal-oriented improvements into their business practices. And from personal experience, I know that goal-oriented improvements is a key to success in life. You know, if you don't set goals for yourself, you can't set a benchmark for where you're at and where you want to be. So for Under Armour to incorporate that into their practices is key. The third question is, does Under Armour have any resource strengths or competitive capabilities that qualify as a distinct competence? Under Armour has several distinct competencies, but their most recognized is their commitment to make all athletes better through passion, design, and relentless pursuit of innovation. By the way, this just happens to be Under Armour's mission statement, if you haven't noticed. And you'll see that if you ever research Under Armour online. Under Armour produces a high-quality clothing line that provides relief in both the heat and the cold weather, allowing moisture to wick off the clothing instead of absorbing into it, making it comfortable to wear for a long period of time. And the cold gear helps trap the heat produced from the body to keep athletes, hunters, and sports enthusiasts alike warmer while wearing less clothing. And I think that's the key. Athletes want to wear less clothing because the more clothing you wear, the more restrictions you have, the limitations it puts on the muscles and the flexibility, especially with hunters. Hunters, are very particular with noise, and Under Armour's done an excellent job of creating a apparel line that caters to hunters to eliminate noise, to eliminate restriction. So right now, Under Armour's kind of got the market with the hunters in apparel. Question number 4 is, what does a SWOT analysis reveal about the overall attractiveness of Under Armour's situation? Based on a SWOT analysis of Under Armour, there are several things to point out. Under Armour's stock growth is less than impressive, as current stock price as of December 3rd, 2017 is only $11.90, and the earnings per share, or EPS, is a meager 32 cents. Some of the strengths Under Armour has is the increase in sales volume and profits, moving them into the second position, only behind Nike. And when they started out, they were, a great deal of length behind Nike and Adidas. The recent addition of celebrity endorsements like Steph Curry, Jordan Spieth on the PGA Tour has given Under Armour a positive push towards marketing and advertising. And to sign 2 superstars like that, especially with Jordan Spieth being a young up-and-comer in the golf industry, and Steph Curry being a basketball champion and MVP, candidate, it really gives them a lot of power to get their product out there and increase sales. Why would you consider Under Armour? While you would consider Under Armour's high spending for investment in the company a weakness at this time, this is likely to pay high dividends in the future. Some of the opportunities that Under Armour has is their recent breakthrough in the shoe and footwear market, breaking through to the levels of such sports as the PGA, Major League Baseball, the NFL, National Basketball Association, NBA, and the Euro Soccer League. And I think that's key for the Euro Soccer League because more and more Americans are playing soccer. Soccer is a really growing sport in the United States. Naturally, it's huge in the Euro League and over in Asia as well. So it's big for Under Armour. Another opportunity for Under Armour is a global expansion overseas, providing more coverage of their products and limiting shipping and export costs. As always, one of the major threats that Under Armour faces is the revolving competition from Nike as well as the Adidas group, because Nike has long outpowered the competition dating back to the late 1990s, and it's no surprise that Nike's simplicity and it all started with footwear, and then it grew into apparel line, and then Nike started making golf clubs and all kinds of other sporting equipment. And I just happened to own a set of Nike golf clubs. Unfortunately, Nike golf clubs weren't selling as well as they should, so naturally they discontinued their golf club line. However, they're going to save a lot of money that way, and they're going to increase sales probably in their merchandising. Question number 5 is, what are the key elements of Under Armour strategy? Under Armour has several key elements linked to their strategy. Under Armour's vision is to inspire performance, and through that vision, they value global philanthropy and the initiative that their teammates participate and encourage through coaching, mentoring, restoration project, and school upgrades in the communities they call home. No surprise, many corporations, firms are doing that, but I think it's key to note that they emphasize their teammates to participate and encourage them through coaching, mentoring, and restoration projects. A lot of companies will just give back money, make donations, but to coach and mentor is very important, especially nowadays with the amount of individuals that could use the additional resources to help them succeed in life. They also follow marketing, promoting, and brand management strategies. Under Armour is constantly marketing their brand through high-profile athletes, like I said, in Steph Curry, Jordan Spieth, to increase the popularity of their products to consumers. Most recently, Under Armour has begun advertising efforts through the use of youth and high school levels athletes to show the products they offer can relate to all levels of athletics, not just the professional leagues. We've all seen the recent commercials where they show high school athletes, youth athletes, how they progress from the youth league to the middle school league, to the high school league, to the college division, and then naturally to the professional league. And it kind of helps give a direction for athletes at an early age and helps them establish goals of where they want to be. They even hype up their advertisement by using the slogan "Protect This House," which amplifies motivation and dedication to the success, like I previously stated. As far as a distribution strategy, they rely on a heavy dose of wholesale distribution and direct-to-consumer sales within the boundaries of North America. And lastly, and most importantly, is the strategy of product design and development. And this is where Under Armour really took their shape. The top executives believe that the innovation and design have propelled the company toward the top, and they will continue to produce high-quality, innovative products for the future because of their mottos and their beliefs and their strategies of continuous research and development and innovation. Question number 6 is, which one of the 5 generic competitive strategies discussed in the book most closely approximates the competitive approach that Under Armour is employing? And after looking through Under Armour's profile and looking at the competitive strategies, I believe that Under Armour has a broad differentiation strategy approach to their product line. Reason why I came to that conclusion is Under Armour can demand a higher price for its product due to the innovative concepts implemented into the apparel, while growing buyer loyalty because of the comfort and reliability. The elevated cost of the apparel signals high quality materials, innovation, and a market leadership in that particular branded item, which is what they're starting to achieve in their apparel line. Not necessarily their footwear, but their apparel line. They've pretty much run the market there. Question number 7 is, what is impressive about Under Armour's financial performance during the 2008 to 2013 period? And after looking at Under Armour's financial statements, I've noticed that between 2008 and 2013, a significant increase of net revenues occurred, despite the large increase in the cost of goods sold. So looking at those numbers, it shows you that the cost of goods sold on average account for nearly 50% of the net revenues each year. Another eye catcher to me is that, the net income per common shares of stock, which has nearly quadrupled since 2008. This would indicate that the brand is strong and holds a competitive advantage in the market. Question number 8, how does Under Armour's competitive strength compare against that of Nike and Adidas Group? In order to come up with this conclusion, I did a weighted competitive strength assessment, and this is kind of my take on it. Under Armour's competitive strengths, while not as strong as it is with Nike, is elevated over that of the Adidas Group. After doing my competitive analysis, I gave Under Armour a total score of 5 compared to a 7.5 with Nike and a 4.5 with Adidas. Under Armour scores high in technological skills, marketing and distribution and quality, but lacks in financial strength and reputation. The reason they lack in reputation is because their image is primarily focused on the sales of the performance clothing, where Nike and Adidas have the market amongst the group in shoe sales and footwear. And again, you have to equivalent that to user preference. I've actually worn a pair of Nike or Under Armour shoes, just didn't like the way they felt, didn't like the way they look, and I think I realized that every company or every firm is looking for a specific look. Sometimes for those that aren't willing to look outside the box, it's that they're not going to notice that what Under Armour is trying to achieve there. Question number 9 is, what 3 to 4 top priority issues do the owner, Kevin Plank, and Under Armour management need to address? Some of the priorities that I came up with that Under Armour should address is the global push of products, continued product innovation, develop a better line of athletic shoes, and adjust for market trends. And question 10 was, with my recommendations, what would the recommendations be to Under Armour to support what I believe? My answer is that my recommendations for a global push would be to continue marketing in the European market, along with the Asian market for athletics that are strong in those particular groups. So if you look at the European League or the European market, cricket and soccer have long been a sport of choice over there, and they've been prioritized. However, for those that don't follow the European sports leagues or whatever, you also have road bicycle racing, ice hockey, and skiing, which are huge, and for most of those, they're Olympic sports. So if they were to make a push towards those not necessarily small athletic sports, but a high Olympic rate sport, then I think they're gonna increase their revenues and eventually take the market. Another thing that the European sports arena, or if you the market is wrestling. You look at wrestling. Wrestling has been an Olympic sport. It's a world sport. There's a lot of if you look at wrestling started in Europe. It started back in the Roman days. So wrestling is huge in the United States. I know it's huge in Russia. I know it's huge in the lower Russia countries. So I don't think they should discount catering towards the wrestling market. And then in the Asian region, you have to look at table tennis, ping pong. Ping pong is huge in Asia. They start them out young age, and they continue to progress to the adult leagues. And then again, you look at the Olympics. And then wrestling's also big in in the Asian League. But let's not forget about, gymnastics for Asia, because gymnastics, and even with the European leagues or the European countries, gymnastics is huge. Again, another Olympic sport. Continued product innovation is always a priority for all companies. However, if Under Armour can continue to corner the market with lighter, more breathable, and more rugged athletic wear, their image and their product ratings would increase tremendously, keeping Nike and Adidas in their rearview mirror. Now, let's face it, Under Armour's footwear line is less than desirable, at least in my opinion. And if they focus more on a specific line of athletic shoe wear and less on trying to compete in all the footwear lines, they could open up their research and development budget to loosen the grip that Nike and Adidas have on them. And with that, I was specifically talking about the outdoor wear that Adidas, or I'm sorry, the outdoor wear that Under Armour's coming up with, hiking boots and hunting boots, and I realize that they have a big market in the hunting sport, but if they can bring back their focus on that particular area, I think that they might be able to put more money into research and development on an athletic shoe that will propel them into a higher net income, and then at some point down the line, then they can revisit the outdoor wear, the hiking, the hunting footwear. The athletic market is ever changing, especially as interests grow or decrease. But one thing is certain: the desire and push for great performance in athletics is trickling down to the youth leagues, and in some cases, even early elementary grades. But let's not stop there, because with popularity of CrossFit and the increase of interest in the elderly to be active and fit, the sky is the limit for Under Armour if they choose to market the sport's majority. You see videos all the time on social media about the elderly doing CrossFit, and how a 50-year-old grandma has a better body than an 18-year-old high school athlete that's been training for 11 months out of the year, which is very impressive to see, because at 45 I know that my body has significantly changed. Doesn't take long for fat to grow or fat to increase the longer you rest and sit in my chair and watch TV. So I think Under Armour, for the most part, is on the right path. Obviously, they've got proven records to show that right now they're just trailing Nike with their success and their financial performances. But in a given time, I think that Under Armour is going to slide past Nike, and they're going to continue to, like I said, put Nike and the Adidas group in the rearview mirror, because personal preference and their innovation, research, development, and their marketing skills are top notch. So thank you for watching. Again, my name is Chris Angus. I'm a student with Peru State College, and that's been my case analysis for Under Armour.